Okay, in this next video we're going to look at the handover notes. As we've told a number of times during the videos in this care control competency, every time you record any information, a separate note is created. And the reason why we do this is because we wanted to have a single place where you could go to and look at everything that's happened for that particular resident. Well, the handover notes takes that to another level. The idea of the handover is for you to look at all the residents' information in one go, so you can get a summary of what's happened recently for the next shift to start. Handover notes are most easily accessed via Care Control Mobile. You can click the button up the top here that says View Handover Notes. When you touch that, the notes will load, and they are broken down and grouped by each resident over the last 8 hours, or 24 hours, or 48 hours, or 72 hours. It's really about looking at what's happened over the last short period of time, enabled for the next shift to get an understanding of what the residents' needs have been and how they may have changed. On this screen you can then drag your finger and scroll up the screen and look at each of the service users, and the notes will be listed separately. What you can also do up the top here is you can filter by the different hours, or you can just select red flag only. Now, we mentioned a number of times about red flags and what they mean, and this is where they're impacted. If you see this note here from Olive Tandy, it was written on the 10th of November at 1818, but it's showing up on this handover note here 8 hours ago. And the reason why it's showing up is because it was red flagged and it is in red here. The same as on this note here regarding this new health issue that was raised. If I were to filter by red flag only, it would then show me only those red flag notes. These are the most serious incidents that have happened to this particular resident. Up the top of the screen you see where it says exclude common notes. Well, the system will exclude notes which aren't going to be helpful for the handover but still need to be recorded. If I take this tick out of that box and I scroll down the page, you will see the very top note, for example, is fluid intake recorded. Now, that fluid intake is normally hidden from the handover. If I just take the tick and put the tick back off again, you can see the note being shown. And that's because we don't want the handover to take forever when you're handing over between shifts. You only want to be talking about the incidents that have happened that are important. But you can still access those notes if you take that tick out. And the final option on this screen is, if you wanted to, you could look at the handover based on images. Clicking on the images button will list all the images for each resident down the screen, and we call this the picture wall. And that's available from the handover as well. You can also view the handover notes on Care Control Windows. If you click on the Home Status option, and if you click on where it says Handover Notes at the bottom here, we get a very similar screen as you do on Care Control Mobile. You can look at the notes over the last 6 hours, 12 hours, 24 hours, etc. You scroll down the screen, you'll be able to see the notes as they've been shown, and you can also see which notes have been excluded based on our excluded filter note options. You can also at this stage print the handover report if you wanted to, although we advise not to, as you can do the handover via Care Control Mobile.